Hey, Jaelan, can you just tell us about defending Hendon Hooker and how you guys progressed throughout the game? You guys seem to do better in the second half doing that. And then also depth today on the defensive line, just the guys that were playing, you guys the starters, you and Quincy just having to play a lot more snaps. How did you guys approach that?
First of all, I got to give all the credit to Hendon Hooker. I think he's a great quarterback. I think Virginia Tech is a very dynamic team. We came into the game planning, expecting him to, run the ball and for them to get active like that. In the her first half had a couple of mistakes. I know I had a couple of mistakes, but then just honing in, really just sticking to the game plan and just, kind of taking a deep breath and relaxing and just playing Canes football like we know how. Oh, and then secondly, with the depth, it's definitely hard when you don't have any backups. I really only came out for a handful of snaps today, but, you just got to step up when the opportunity is there. So, we'll be excited to have our guys back next week, but, you just got to play the cards you're dealt.
Great. Next up, we have Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Jaelan, congrats on the win. Second straight game in a row where you guys in the fourth quarter really buckled down and are able to sort of pull the comeback out. Coach talked a lot about learning how to win these games. Can you talk a little bit about that from your perspective as a player, what it is that's working for you guys in the fourth quarter?
Coach Diaz talked about, he made an analogy to our off-season training. What we do is during our mat drills, we have a rope pulling competition where, obviously it's one guy against another holding a rope and you pull it and try to take it away from the other person. And when you do that, you always see when the whistle blows and you start going, you see one person pulling really hard. And then the other person tends to usually be a little more composed, just knowing that, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the same thing goes with football. When you come out and you just realize that through the span of 4 quarters, you just have to be consistent. You have to be relentless. And you just got to be confident in yourself, in the offense, and knowing that, when that fourth quarter does come around, that we'll be ready to go and the other team will be tired and we can just pull that rope.
Thank you.
Great. Next up, we have Andrea Adelson of ESPN. Andrea, go ahead.
Hey, Jaelan, can you just describe the adversity that you all had to face this week in terms of not knowing who was going to be available, but also up until the end, not knowing whether this game was even going to be played and how difficult that has been for players to manage throughout this season?
Yeah, obviously 2020 has been a hectic time for all of us. But really what it boils down to is just controlling what you can control. I can't determine whether or not we have a game. I can't, determine whether or not we're going to have guys test positive or guys out for contact tracing. All I can do and all my teammates can do is prepare for the next week, prepare for the game, and come every day, clock in your daily deposits and just focus on, like I said, what you can control. So I think that's really the only way to maneuver around it.
Next up, we have Tim Reynolds of the Associated Press. Tim, go ahead.
Jaelan, it's been almost 30 years since Miami has won 3 consecutive games that were this close. What's just the level of belief in your locker room right now that no matter what, you guys are just going to find a way?
It's definitely a lot of positive energy and a lot of belief in the locker room right now. Obviously you don't want to have tight games like that every week, but, a win is a win. And ultimately, I think every week we're just becoming stronger as a team. All facets of our team are improving. We're feeling more together. We're feeling more confident, like you said. And so, all the while this is, obviously not a great thing to only win by a point or only win by a couple points, I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it just allows us to have that opportunity to just keep building as a team. And I'm excited about what we have going on. 7-1.
All right, Jaelan, we have time for 2 more. Next up, we have Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Jaelan, congratulations. So you guys were down, I think, by a point at halftime.
Yeah, we were down by 1.
Yeah, who gave the speech this week? Last week it was Frierson. Did anybody step up?
All of us. It's as a defense, I don't think there's one single leader. I think that we're all very close as a team and we're all there to pick each other up. So when you come in at halftime, down by 1, up by 20, down by 10, it doesn't matter. It's 0-0 when you come in at half. So it's really the same mentality every week. no matter what happens. So.
And also, I'm sure you're happy to be returning home, right? Next
Oh,
week.
absolutely. It's a lot better to get back at 9 p.m. rather than 5 o'clock in the morning.
And the last thing is, do you, the guys that are out, there are some very important guys on the defensive line that are out today. Do you, give them some moral support? Have you talked to them? And do you worry yourself? I mean, in this age of COVID, the defensive linemen, what goes through your mind with all that?
I mean, I could worry about lightning striking me tomorrow. I can only control what I can control. And like I said, at the end of the day, it definitely hurts to not have the depth that you have, but you just got to be prepared and got to do what you can do. So I wouldn't say that I'd sit around, nervous about getting COVID. I definitely take precautions just like everybody else on our team. You got to be smart, but, I can't worry about things like that.
Thanks.
All right, Jaelan, our last question for you comes from Mark Berman of the Roanoke Times. Mark, go ahead.
Congratulations. I think you held them off the scoreboard for the last 6 minutes of the third quarter, and obviously throughout the fourth quarter. What did you see your defense doing better during that stretch there?
I think we just kind of got back to the basics. We started running our base defense again, and really, our whole goal this week was to pound the inside run and make sure that we stop it and don't let them get any momentum going that way. And I think that when the second half came around, we kind of settled in a little bit more. And we just played. We were relentless all game. And when the clock hit doubles or triple zeros, we ended up being victorious. So.
All right, Jaelan, thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and congrats on the victory.
Thank you.